Good evening.
All right, how's everybody doing tonight? So back with part 2. We decided to transfer away because kind of the discussion kept going for another 10 minutes after we ended the video anyway. So we are doing tonight, the discussion is going to be spending. So let's start. He is pro-spending, and we are anti-spending. So let's start the video off here. Why are you pro-spending? Back with Pam.
Well, I think there's obviously a lot of unnecessary spending. Everyone can agree with that, but
Obama stimulus.
yeah, but a lot of the spending, what I don't think people realize is it's not just money going to waste. Like, that money actually is creating jobs and creating money.
Like, can you give an example?
Alright, this is like hypothetical, so an actual example. I don't know bullshit, but like say that you're building a bridge, right? And the government's funding it. So, well, like you
Say you're building a railroad, you can call it Amtrak.
But say you're building a bridge, right, and it costs like $100 million. Some bullshit. But the money that's going into is hiring people, hiring jobs, and taxes. And people are paying the government.
So are you for raising taxes?
I think compromise. I think you obviously cut spending and raise taxes a little bit.
See, I don't think they should have budged on the debt ceiling at all. I think the debt ceiling should just sat there.
It always raises though.
No, we shouldn't have. Well, because the Senate hasn't passed a budget because they know the budget's going to be horrible.
And they can't agree on it.
And so what Congress said was, we'll raise your debt ceiling for a couple months, and then if you don't pass a budget, we'll cut off your paychecks. And so now here
they never. That's the problem.
Moles on his face and deciding that he decides he wants to.
The problem is they never agree on anything.
Yeah,
it's so divided. It's so like Republican. It's like two parties. It's like Republican, Democrat, red, blue.
They don't agree. The Republicans
they didn't
are
agree on
right.
anything last.
But the Republicans are right. That's why. They don't. The liberals think, oh, we'll raise taxes, create $500 billion. You create enough money with the taxes raised to balance the budget at the U.S. Postal Service that hasn't made money since the year it was open. We need to cut spending.
No, they prove that in the first 10 years, the amount you get from cutting taxes raises like, I think it's 1.2 billion.
From raising taxes, you mean?
Yeah, and then cutting spending only raised like 700 million.
Okay, well, let me say something really quick. The CBO on their website, you can look this up, Congressional Budget Organization, came up with a list of spending cuts for $4.6 trillion over the next 10 years. So you just said
national defense.
You just said that it was less money for raising taxes, but that's more.
What do you mean?
You just way underestimated how much money you'd make from spending cuts over the next 10 years.
No, I'm saying over 10 years, but it was proven.
10 years, 4.6
Then what percent of people would you raise taxes on? Like the top 10%, top 2%? What percentage of people?
Me personally,
yeah.
I don't think the top 2% would do anything because they have a lot of money, but it's almost no people when it's people.
It doesn't do anything either way. The rich already pay their fair share.
The top 10% of America pays almost 40% of the income taxes.
Exactly.
Yet they hold 20% of the wealth.
So,
the bottom 50% of income pays 0%. The top 50% of America
50% has no money, though.
We need to lower taxes on small businesses, and we need to lower taxes across the board.
That's not true, because if you're in the middle of the 50% range and you're paying no taxes, that's still considered middle class.
Where's their money
45%. If you're at the 45% rate, that's still middle class. You're in the middle.
So the rich
That's
people.
The
So the rich people. So the rich people.
The rich people already pay their fair share.
Okay, so say I have like 10 donuts. I should only give you 2.
If I worked for my 10 donuts, I don't want to give you any of the 10 donuts when you're sitting outside of a McDonald's.
So you complain that America sucks, so you don't have enough donuts, but you keep your donuts.
Okay, I'm not complaining about having enough donuts.
Let me explain it to you this way. Say you have a job. Say you have a job, and you get every paycheck is $10. Right now, at the tax rate, you get taxed. And what actually goes into your paycheck is $5. Now, what the Republican Party wants to do is because, hey, the economy is bad, we'll lower taxes so you get $7 to take home. But the Democratic Party and your boys are saying, well, we need to raise taxes some more, so we're only going to give you $3.
Yeah, but the extra $2 is going somewhere. What happens?
The extra $2 isn't going anywhere. He went around and spent the money he raised on taxes on the Obamacare.
Did you know he just gave $100 million to a country that I had never even heard of? I don't even remember what it was called. Nobody had ever heard of it.
It's for
He was
staying-
going on vacation.
Well, I don't agree
And he
with
just
that.
gives them $100 million. Well, this is what
And
he
that's
was doing all the time.
Every time he's in Hawaii on his vacation, it costs the taxpayers $250,000. When Bush and Reagan used to stay on military
Well-
bases so that first of all, they wouldn't have to
Yeah,
take
but
joint
they want big
security
militaries, and they spend how
But
much they spend there.
military,
$10 trillion.
but the Democrats voted big military. Obama's cutting military, and right now, if we had a war because of his military cuts,
Look
we
at
could-
the look at
we
Obamacare.
have so many tanks, like they prove.
It doesn't matter if we have tanks.
It doesn't matter if we have
Because
tanks.
right now, if we had a war,
He's spending too much money. If you have Obamacare is almost $1 trillion, it would be cheaper to give every single American
A
a
Blue
Blue
Cross
Cross
Blue Shield
Blue
plan.
Shield
I agree
program.
with that. I don't agree with Obamacare. I'm saying
Then what do you agree with? Like, what's a policy that you agree with him on?
the raising taxes. Because
raising taxes.
Okay,
Listen,
okay,
you need to
okay,
If
cut.
you,
wait,
raise, if you take
You-
the top 2%'s money, it would only fund the government for 8 days. So that
That's
doesn't
true.
work.
Yeah, I'm not saying top 2% though. I'm saying okay.
Then what
So-
percent? You never even answered that question. Like what
Okay,
percent?
let's just say top 20%.
Okay, that
Oh.
still would not work.
Yeah,
If
but
you
it's obviously
take-
over time though, because you're not.
Yeah,
paying
but over
much.
time, you could save. In over 10 years, you could save $4.6 trillion for spending cuts. That I
But then
just
you're
said.
also losing money from the money you never make.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're losing money. We're saving the debt we're in right now. We need to fix the debt problem before we talk. We're
I'm
we're
saying-
borrowing money because we're spending too much money.
You
You don't
also-
need to worry about taking in money to spend. The money he's taking in right now, we're just paying back in our deficit. That's doing nothing. Our interest on our
So-
debt is going to be so high.
Okay, so with you say you get $10 on your paycheck, and you get 7. If you get, like you said, you should get 7 back. Why get 7 back when 2 can go in the government? What would you?
The two
You can
isn't
go.
going-
What are they going to?
The two
So
isn't
we're
going
going
to
to
the
friggin'
government. The two is
stupid
going
programs like the
Like the
cash for clunkers, because that worked out so well.
Amtrak.
Amtrak.
Which is losing money every year since it's been open. See, here's my theory.
PBS, people are so freaked out about PBS. Like Sesame Street won't get picked up by somebody else.
No, it doesn't even matter.
Who gives a shit?
PBS is funded by public donations. The
It's
government.
It's 0.02% of the government.
The government, yeah, it's such a little minuscule amount from the government. You can cut, but that's little cuts you have to do. See,
That's
look
what
at
I'm saying. I
Greece. They
agree
never
with
cut spending. They went into a total crisis,
No,
and now
I'm
they're
saying-
trying to cut spending, and everyone's like, "You have to cut spending before everybody flips out."
Why not both?
Because you can raise taxes. I don't have a problem with raising taxes.
That's
Just
what I'm
don't sit
saying.
there and say we don't have a spending problem.
Because if you
but I'm
lower
gonna raise
taxes-
taxes.
I
I
do
disagree.
agree with
I-
the spending problem though. It's the
We
same.
have a spending. Oh, well, we don't have a spending problem. We don't never. Yeah, we have a spending problem.
Obama said when Obama took office, the debt was $10 trillion. He said it was going to be He said it was going to be $5 trillion.
It's
Said he was going to
16.4.
cut it in half, and said it was going to be $5 trillion. He was going to lower it $5 trillion. Instead, in his first term, he raised it $6 trillion. So
Yeah.
not only did he do the exact opposite, but he did the exact opposite and then some.
But the funny thing about that is he comes out, Obama comes out and says he's going to be able to cut it in half. And everyone's like, oh, you can do it. Then Romney comes out and says he's going to cut a couple little things. And everyone's like, oh, big boy. Like, I don't even, it's
Well, they
weird.
can't even give up
I'm looking at the
PBS.
live
How are they
deficit clause.
supposed
You can
to?
see what
The actual
deficit
debt is like 16.
No, it's live. It's cool. It's
I know what the debt clock was.
usdebtclock.org.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Funded by the
Here, wait, let me get something really quick, guys, while we're just sitting here. Actually, we'll come back. Part 2 of this video is coming up right next. Got a couple of...
Part 3.
Part 3, sorry, here we go.